What do you guys think about chess clocks? Alright guys, Boggler here with another battle report from the Season of War GT. This time versus Oliver, Dempsey, and his Sons of Behemat Stomper tribe playing close to the chest. This battle plan I hadn't played before, but I felt pretty confident going into it because I knew I had a couple blobs that I'd be able to hold at least 3 objectives all the time and then move into another one. I knew Sons of Behemat were pretty deadly in the objective game, but I really wasn't worried about this battle plan as much as I should have been. Might have made some mistakes, but I'll kind of get through some of that stuff as we go. The main thing for this battle plan was Oliver, in preparation for the Worlds, wanted to use a chess clock, which I have really no problem with. I had never used one before, so just getting the habit of hitting the time on the clock was the big thing for me. I'm not a slow player. I play very deliberately. I have a general plan. I have my movement trays. I have my game aids. And I think that with all of this and some fast dice rolling and knowing the game, that I'm able to finish my games in 5 turns 99% of the time. I've played against some people who play slow, or they play armies that just are too much for them to handle, hero phases that are just too much for them to handle, models, miniatures, hundreds of miniatures that are just too much for them to handle. And I know they have some problems, but you know, as I showed you the photo before, we bring our army to the event in 2 filing trays because we know that is what we have the capacity to handle mentally as well as physically while we're playing the game. Oliver wanted the chess clock just to prepare himself for Worlds, because at Worlds you are required to use a chess clock, because once you use your time, it's done and your models are not to be touched. You're allowed to roll saves and stuff like that, but that's just it. This game of Age of Sigmar is getting more and more complicated by the minute. That's fine. I think that once we all play the game and learn more, then we'll get more used to it, which is great. I was super happy that Oliver used the chess clock because it was a really good experience. I looked at my clock time counting down. I thought that I was very rational in my decision making, and I'm excited to show you guys this bat rep as we go. Alright, let's take a look. As you can see, Oliver's running the Sons of Behemat Stomper tribe, Make the Land Terrible, which I think was you have to run or charge each of your units every single round. He's got the War Stomper, which is his general, as you must, plus a Gate Breaker with the Manticore Venom. The Mantle of the Destroyer, oh my gosh, I gotta go take a look what that does actually real quick. Mantle of the Destroyer. Friendly Gargants have a bravery characteristic of 10 while they're within 12 inches of the bearer. In addition, you can re-roll charge rolls for friendly Gargants that are within 12 inches of the bearer. So, everything is a Gargant. Can run and charge. Re-roll charge rolls within 12. It's pretty strong. With Eager to Fight, which means you can roll 3d6, re-rolling your charge. I should have taken this combination a little bit more seriously, but honestly, I haven't played against Sons of Behemat in a couple years, just like I haven't played against Oliver in a couple years, so it was great to play Sons again. I used to blow them up with my orcs very easily, and for this matchup, I was really, really excited. The Man Crusher Gargant mob, 3 small guys and then 3 individual ones inside Bounty Hunters. Obviously he gets Magnificent to give him the extra artifact, and I think it's a really good list. Very interesting for Oliver. I hope he does well in the future with this list, and here's my list. So, we have Nighthaunt, Scarlet Doom from the Realm of Metal, Fright or Flight. We're bloodthirsty, but we're not going to get triumph anyways. We have the Guardian of Souls, Master of Magic, Seal of Shaiish, to just try to get that magic out. Oliver wasn't running any wizards at all, so our Mirrormorn Banshees were going to act more of a screen in this game, as were the Dreadscythe Harridans, because they're not going to be susceptible to the Bounty Hunters. And then our core units are our three kind of groups. We have the 20 Blade guys, and then our characters acting as like a kind of hammer and anvil, plus Hex Wraiths and Chain Rasps to screen or drop down as they're required. I'm pretty happy with how my list ran in the first game, and I was really excited to have another go here. My general plan was to set up around one side here and just kind of hit the edge of one of the objectives. I didn't know if I was going to hit the objective here or hit the objective here. Move up and try to see if I could claim 3. I was like 99% certain that Oliver was going to give me the first turn. I don't know why he wouldn't. I thought his setup with one of the Gargants on the side here, I didn't think he was going to come in so hot, but then I forgot about the 3d6 charge. That's a huge mistake. I'm going to have to be better prepared next time, which I certainly will be. Let's take a look at how this thing goes. My filing tray of models and my game aids ready to help me deploy as fast as I can. We have the chess clock over here, which is counting down the time, and as I see Oliver here has deployed, this is the gate breaker over on the side here. I'm not afraid at this point. I'm actually feeling really, really good. I know that I have my Banshees here that are going to just go onto this objective. I know that this is about 20 inches away. I honestly at the time was thinking he was going to be able to go 10 inches onto here, and if he gets a long bomb charge off onto my guys, I knew that I was going to have a screen and then another screen ready for him when he comes in. In hindsight, I probably should have moved this blob of 20 blade guys a little bit further back. The Gargants have a 3-inch reach, so even if he hit this, I totally forgot about the mortal impact hits, and these Banshees basically explode, and he piles into the blade guys who also get roared, and you can kind of figure out how the rest of this is going. Let's quickly go over this again. So in my turn, I'm going up onto the edges of the objectives. I here had made a long bomb charge to get my Dreadscythes into the giants in the top here. They did okay. They took some wounds off one of the small guys, and I'm ready with my blob here. We know we should have deployed a little bit further back as another screen, and it might not have been necessary to keep these chain rasps here, but I did think that there'd be another secondary screen. Going through the rest of my turn, it worked out okay. Going out of my mind, I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Got my buffs up and towed onto the objective. As we get into Oliver's turn here, I think that my deployment is good. As we can see, Oliver taking his turn, he is really, really taking a look at the situation of the battlefield and trying to really think about what he wants to do on his turn here. We have the chess clock going fine. I think that I'm in a good spot here. I did against the odds. I got my 5 points. Oliver has chosen gaining momentum. He's going to try to kill something, which is probably going to be this unit down here of the Mirrormorn Banshees, and he's going to try to hold more. This one was the proving ground, so none of us got it, so I just have 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, 2. So he has to take 1, 2, 3, and I'll still only hold 2, which is a pretty good spot. Here, this last Dreadscythe is kind of holding up the show. I think he can probably shoot it off, or it'll be okay. Was a mistake, again, to engage the second small on here. I probably should have just had the concave around this side, and with -1 to hit, -1 to wound on this guy, they wouldn't have taken so much damage in return. But instead, what happened is I go in, he wound up roaring the other unit of Blade Geist Revenants down here, but these guys got stomped, so I don't know, taking mortals when you don't have to is not a good idea. As you can see, just in his turn here, as he's moving up, these guys got shot a little bit, and he's moved up his gate breaker here to try to get into the action. I thought from here to here he moved a little bit far. Maybe it was 12 inches from here to here. It's still an 8 to charge, but with the 3d6, I made a pretty big misplay. He goes into the Banshees. They basically melt to the impact mortal wounds, and he's able to power to the Blade Guy's Revenants, which I lose quite a few of. I think I lost 7, and I'm able to fight back, do some damage onto the Gatebreaker, because Blade Guy's fighting at 2 ranks is pretty gross. At this point in time, I know that I don't have enough models to hold this objective anymore. I know that he's already done his battle attack, gaining momentum. All I have to do is win a priority, and I'll be in a really good spot, because these Blade Guys can move up to here and threaten this objective again, and I'm pretty sure that these Blade Guys, as well as my characters here with Lady O and her mortal wound output, will be able to come down and take this Gatebreaker off with no problem. Feeling pretty good. As we go to the roll-off, anything can happen. I have a new dice. I'm not really superstitious, but I was rolling that dice for the whole day, and let me tell you something about superstition. It lets you down a lot. I rolled a 2 on my priority. Oliver chose out muscle. He popped finest hour on his Gatebreaker, and he was doing good. I mean, he thought that he was going to take off these guys. All my Blade Guys here. I immediately selected Proving Ground so that none of his models could actually contest this objective. I knew that if even one Blade Guy stuck around, that I would be able to take this objective back from him, and he wouldn't get as many points. But he sent everything down to this corner to try to, eliminate the threats. Doing a lot of work here with the Krolgast Crusader is really preventing a lot of damage. Losing the double to Suns, I think that's why I need to have a second screen. The end of the turn, the Blade Guys are here. He was able to clean up some of my units here, and I was still feeling pretty good because I could move around and try to get into a better position. As you can see, my hex rates are dead, but I've chosen eye for an eye. I need to try to get back in the game. He controls 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. I only have 2 objectives. At the very least, I could hold 1, hold 2, and get eye for an eye. I know this blob of Blade Guys Revenants is going to do some serious work, so I'm just waiting to see what they can in fact do as they get in to make their charges. Lady Olinda, for most of my day so far, has really not done any mortal wounds lifting the veil. I've rolled a 4, I guess. I've rolled a 1 4 out of 6 times in my 2 games so far. She does have an Arcane Bolt, and as you can see from the picture here, I managed to take down his General Stompa with the Blade Guys Revenants. I didn't wind up rolling too high. I think he was on finest hour, and I still managed to get about 10 mortals in, and then with the extra 60-ish attacks, it's a lot of damage. Blade Guys are for real, but it's not enough because he still has guys everywhere, and my army is depleting pretty quickly. Here, we can see what's left after his turn, which I did not get the priority for it again. He went priority, he went eye for eye. He captured his 4 objectives plus his battle tactic. It's looking pretty grim at this point, but we're still playing a really, really good game. Oliver is a super guy to play, and honestly, I would really like to play this again because I'm going to, in my head, remind myself to take a look at someone's list and then see what it is. You have the app, you take a look at their list, you immediately go to Wahapedia on your phone, you immediately take a look, you say, what is their thing? Okay, Sons of Behemat, Stomper Tribe, Artifacts, okay, Mantle of the Destroyer, perfect. Eager for the fight, okay, 3d6 charge, threat range, 12-inch move, everything you could possibly need is all right here. I don't know. Oliver did a good job posting his list. It's in the correct format. Just made a pretty critical error of not paying attention to this issue right here, which I should have screened out double. I thought about pushing the Banshees up to here, but I thought that was too easy of charge. I didn't want to give them up for nothing, but what ended up happening is I gave them up for nothing, and then half of my Blade Geists were given up for nothing at the same time. In the future, I'm going to play it differently, which is what we have to do. We are making these videos to learn. And with the game over, I only got 12 points. Oliver got 30. It's a perfect game. Here we are, just hanging out afterwards, just having some drinks, time to get my buzz on, and really enjoy the tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video really, really interesting. I'm going to try to do some of the other ones for the other games sometime soon. Until then, thanks for watching.